On this day in 1941, Hitler launched Operation Barbarossa, the largest military invasion in history. Over 3 million German troops stormed the Soviet Union, igniting the Eastern Front in W3s. The brutal Russian winter and fierce Soviet resistance turned the tide. This marked the beginning of the Nazi retreat, shaping the fate of Dyatlov. The clash between the Nazis and Soviets became one of the most destructive campaigns in history. The outcome of this battle would change the course of the war. Would you have survived this battlefield? Hit like to remember history. On this day in 1968, Apollo 8 became the first crewed spacecraft to orbit the Moon. Astronauts captured the iconic Earthrise photo, showcasing Earth's beauty from space. This mission paved the way for the lunar landing that would take place the following year. Apollo 8's successful mission was a turning point in the space race and marked the United States' leadership in space exploration. Imagine the awe astronauts must have felt seeing Earth from the dark side of the Moon for the first time. It's a reminder of humanity's potential to push boundaries and explore the unknown. Drop a comment if you'd take that journey.
On this day in 2004, a devastating tsunami struck the Indian Ocean, claiming over 230,000 lives. Entire coastlines were reshaped by the waves, leaving behind widespread destruction. The tsunami, caused by a massive undersea earthquake, affected 14 countries and remains one of the deadliest natural disasters in modern history. It displaced millions of people and left entire communities devastated. In the aftermath, the world came together to provide aid and support for the survivors. Nature's power is unimaginable, and this tragedy reminds us of the fragility of life. Share this to honor the victims and survivors.
On this day in 1914, soldiers from both sides of WWI emerged from the trenches for a brief Christmas truce. Enemies exchanged gifts, sang carols, and even played football on the battlefield. This rare moment of peace in the midst of brutal conflict became a symbol of humanity's enduring hope for peace. For a brief moment, the horrors of war were forgotten as soldiers shared laughter and camaraderie. The truce happened along the Western Front, where the guns fell silent in the spirit of the holiday. Would you step out of the trenches during such a dangerous time? Remember this moment by liking and sharing to honor this incredible human story.
On this day in 1895, Wilhelm Röntgen discovered X-rays, a groundbreaking breakthrough in both medicine and physics. This accidental discovery allowed humanity to peer inside the human body without invasive surgery. His pioneering work has since saved countless lives by enabling doctors to diagnose conditions that were once hidden. Röntgen's discovery was met with surprise, but it soon revolutionized medical imaging. Imagine the shock of viewing your bones through your skin for the first time. This moment is a testament to the power of curiosity and innovation. Would you have trusted early X-ray machines? Hit subscribe for more epic science history. On this day in 1914, the first commercial flight took off, flying 23 miles from St. Petersburg to Tampa. The journey was a groundbreaking moment for aviation, signaling the dawn of the commercial air travel industry. Imagine boarding that plane, unaware of how aviation would transform the world in the years to come. By 1914, aviation was still in its infancy, and the flight was a bold step forward. This historic event set the stage for the rise of modern airlines and the interconnected world we live in today. It's amazing how one flight could change everything. Would you have flown on such an early airplane? On this day in 1890, U.S. troops clashed with the Lakota Sioux, resulting in over 250 deaths. The Battle of Wounded Knee marked the tragic end of the Indian Wars and the harsh treatment of Native Americans. This event remains one of the darkest chapters in American history. The massacre at Wounded Knee was a direct result of the U.S. government's attempt to forcefully suppress Native American resistance. The Lakota Sioux were fighting to protect their land and culture from further encroachment. This day serves as a painful reminder of the long struggle for Native rights and sovereignty. Let's remember the sacrifices made by those who fought for their land by sharing this video. On this day, in 30th December 1975, Saigon fell to North Vietnamese forces, marking the end of the Vietnam War. Chaos erupted as thousands fled the city in desperation. U.S. helicopters evacuated personnel from the embassy roof, a moment seared into history. The fall symbolized the failure of American intervention and reshaped Southeast Asia. This event still echoes in global politics and war strategies today. Remember the lessons from Saigon's fall. On this day in 31st December 1991, the Soviet Union officially dissolved, ending the Cold War. The hammer and sickle flag was lowered from the Kremlin for the last time. 15 republics declared independence, reshaping global geopolitics forever. The collapse left economic turmoil but opened paths to democracy. It marked the end of a superpower rivalry that defined the 20th century. Witness the fall of one of history's largest empires. On this day in January 1999, the euro was introduced, transforming European economies. 11 countries adopted the currency to unify markets and boost trade. The euro became a symbol of economic cooperation in the EU. This monumental shift aimed to prevent future wars through shared prosperity. The Eurozone now drives global finance and stability. Celebrate the birth of one of the world's leading currencies. On this day in January 1942, the Battle of Bataan began as U.S. and Filipino forces resisted Japanese invasion. Thousands endured brutal fighting in the dense jungles of the Philippines. The battle delayed Japan's advance but ended in surrender and the Bataan Death March. This heroic defense shaped Pacific War history. Honor those who sacrificed in Bataan. On this day in January 1924, archaeologists uncovered the tomb of Tutankhamun, revealing vast treasures. The tomb held gold artifacts and mummies untouched for centuries. This discovery reignited global interest in ancient Egypt. King Tut's mask became an icon of history and archaeology. The tomb remains one of the greatest finds of the 20th century. Step into the world of ancient pharaohs. On this day in 1643, Isaac Newton was born, forever changing science. Newton's laws of motion became the foundation of physics. His work on gravity reshaped our understanding of the universe. The discovery of calculus further advanced mathematics. Newton's influence extends from space exploration to modern engineering. Celebrate the genius who defined scientific progress.